Alright, good morning, and good morning. Okay, so this is the starting point. What happened last night, I got this Sony A7 III from one of my friends, and the whole idea is to kick off and see how's the performance. Now, but the first thing that I noticed is that I didn't have the charger with me, and I've been told that you can charge it by USB-C and the standard micro USB port. So what I did, I put both of them, USB-C and micro USB charge. You can see that over here, and I tried to charge it. So what happened basically, whenever you try to put either USB-C or this, it shows USB connection. This is where you have to choose whether the camera should be charged or not, or it's just standard as a USB. So how to charge the camera, because it took me like 2-3 hours just to figure out how to charge the camera, although this is deciding that it's been charging but it's not charging. So what happened is you have to press a playback button, and then it shows disconnect USB connection and switch to USB power supply. This is where you have to either cancel it or enter it. So once you press enter, now it's going to charge the camera. So I charge it overnight and it's 100%, as you can see now. Now it shows 100%. So this is the quickest thing that I learned, and I went through the menus of this camera, and I'm going to be honest, the menus are horrible, like frankly horrible. And I literally means it's literally horrible. Like there are 14 links. If you can see down, there are 14 links. So 14 menus, sub-menus. And okay, this is the first one. You choose raw, all these types, extra fine, exploitation, blah blah blah. Now instead of scrolling it, I have to shift it over here by pressing this. So I have to, okay, now go to second. Long exposure, ISO, color space, lens compatibility, next. So for everything which is finished, rather than instead of scrolling down, it's shifting, and you don't know until you do something with your camera. So this is one of the most annoying thing which I found it, because neither in Canon nor in Sony, even in Fuji, the menus are much more sensibly put in. I'm sure you will be agree on this with me. The menus are literally horrible. Yeah. And they are not actually kind of look like grouped the way it should be. Like autofocus, there are some functions over here and some are over there. It should be in one. Like if you have one menu of the autofocus, it should go into all the autofocus related functions. So as I don't know how they put it, and it took me a lot of time just to, you see, I'm still going over here. I'm still going. I'm not even reached to these areas. So I don't know how it will go, how much time it will take me to reach. You see, I'm still scrolling on this. I'm on menu, sub-menu 9 on 14th of exposure 1. I don't know what exposure 1 is. So of course all the Sony users will get used to it, but initially for anybody who wants to switch to this Sony menu, it's really annoying. And what else? It's still going. Now I jumped into from 14th. Now I reached this was exposure mode, recording, all this, blah blah blah, audio, marketing. It took me a lot of time to enable the focus peaking into the viewfinder, because viewfinder was turned off. So it took me a really while to go through and see where the focus peaking was. And the best thing so far, because I yet have to start searching for this. Just wait, I want to show you something else. This is the lens that I got from Sony. That's 16 to 35 f4. I hope I can focus in. Oh yeah, 16 to 35 f4 lens is the standard lens from Sony, E-mount lens. Zeiss, yeah, it's kind of a rough use because it was meant for testing purposes, so yeah, it was roughly used. So there is no gasket around this lens. I don't know why. It should be. So I have to test this A7 III with this. But I think what happened, and I was wondering how I'm going to use my Nikon lenses on this A7 III. So fortunately, I have this adapter in my disposal. To show you this adapter. It's a dumb adapter basically. Nikon to NEX. Next part, like E-mount, that is meant for crop sensors. And I was struggling that well, this adapter is going to. Fortunately, I remember that I have this adapter which makes my Nikon lenses to mount on Sony bodies. And this came to me with one of the lenses which I bought, and that camera body was A6000 series. So that adapter was meant to build for a 7000 series. So I thought, okay, let me try on this full frame, and it fits perfectly. I mean, I didn't see any trouble or anything. Let me show you. So I have to press from here in order to move this. This is full frame, and actually the E-mount is designed for the crop sensor, but if you can see the sensor, the sensor is much bigger than the mount. So this full frame sensor is much more bigger than the mount, so which proves this fact that this E-mount is basically meant to design for the crop sensor, but they are using it for the full frame. I don't know what kind of magic they are doing, because the sensor is still reaching out of this big, of this small E-mount. But anyways, my job is to test this link, or test this, not link, I mean this camera. So let's see. So this is the dumb adapter, and I have this with my. I have to lever it down. This if there's this lever, I have to press it down. So once I pull it down, then I can release my Nikon lenses. So now I can use all of my Nikon lenses on this, which is a good news for me. Which is really a good news for me. Yeah, this USB charging thing. It's really handy because I can charge it even by battery bank that I use for my mobile, or even from the car charger. So this is the best thing so far that I have noticed. I yet have to see and test its sensor performance and everything. Yes, it does 10 frames per second, which is really nice. But I won't be able to do the focus tracking and focus acquisition. Well, I can, but using this lens, which 16 to 35, but I don't know how much it's gonna help me in focus tracking and all those things, because at 35mm you can't reach far enough to focus or track anything running except other than human. So I'll try, let's see. But so far this camera menu system and everything, I'm trying to get familiarized, and let's see. Stay tuned and we'll get back to the part 2. Bye. 15 shots. Just been writing. Okay. Writing to memory card. Unable to operate. Okay. 30 shots. It's writing into a memory card. Okay, shall I go into the menu? Okay, go into the menu. Other thing, unable to write. ISO, playback. Okay. Alright guys, it's time to conclude, time to give you my final thoughts about Sony a7 III. Yes, I told you earlier I got this camera from my friend for testing purposes, and I was testing it more than a week, and I pushed this camera in many ways, from the performance perspective, operational perspective. Yeah, this camera is tough, the body is tough. I was not expecting, but this is a tough camera. Like, it can take the bumps and all this thing. Not the lenses are horrible. Yeah, that's true, lenses are horrible from Sony. I am using the best lenses from various those lens manufacturer. Everybody knows I'm a Nikon guy, but I have many other lenses that I can show you, like not Sigma actually, the other Zeiss and other companies are making pretty nice wide-angle lenses. This one sucks, literally. That's 16-35 f4. That sucks big time. Zeiss makes better lenses. Well, by the way, just for a note, the best wide-angle lenses ever made is by Nikon. Period. Flat out. Pardon. There is no question. There is no argument. There is no any point to talk about. Everybody knows it. Zeiss, they are legendary when it comes to lenses, but their wide-angle lenses sucks big time. So when it comes to wide-angle lenses, Nikon is the top dog, no doubt about it. There is no question. Anyways, we are off the topic. Coming back to Sony, two things. The first two things that I came across, and I was like, what the hell? The button layouts. Sucks, man. It really sucks. I mean, seriously, like Sony, you have to fire the guy who basically designed these layouts, frankly speaking. And the second worst thing, this is bad. The button layout's bad, but the worst thing is this menu system. Wait, come on, yeah. The worst menu system in any camera company. The worst. And I mean, seriously, you have to also fire a guy who designed this camera menu for your cameras. Sony, you need to fire the guy. You have to revamp everything. It sucks. The button layouts, the menus, like if I want to go to the autofocus, they are spread in a different part. They should be together. Okay? And then the main functionality, like other things are not in the other things, like, okay, for example, focus points are different place, and then autofocus menus, eye detection, all those, they are a different place. So, and I was like, they have to be together. ISO and the megapixels, Canon are having much better camera menus than this. Forget about Nikon. Of course, everyone knows I'm a Nikon guy, so I'll be praising Nikon. That's not the point. The point is that the menu system of this camera is horrible. I have Fuji. Fuji has much more organized camera menu system. Don't believe me? Go out there, check by yourself. You will see a clear difference. They are properly placed, the image sensors, the related to camera and all those ISO things. Then for the focus system, they have completely different menu, and the completely different menu for focus system, and the different parameters. They have dedicated menu, and this everything is spreads out different places. So I was literally lost. Like for the first half an hour, I was trying to see where the focus system is. Although I didn't use it because I was mostly using this this adapter, Sony to Nikon to Sony mount. Even it's written NEX. It's not NEX. It's basically it's for the E mount. And by the way, the E mount is basically designed for the crop sensor of the Sony, not for the full frame. Don't believe me? Let me show you. This is the sensor. Okay, this is the mount, and the sensor is going out of the mount inside, out. So I don't know the light passing through this area, how it's going to bend inside the sensor and touching the corner of the sensor. How? If the light is passing through from here, so it's going to be bent in and reaching inside the corner of the sensor. I don't know what kind of science is this. Clearly see, don't believe me, clearly see. The sensor is bigger than the projection of the throat, lens throat. So how is it going to be? Basically, the E mount is designed for the crop sensor, not for the full frame. Okay, I'll prove you one more time. Just wait. I have another point. Wait. Alright. This is the adapter that I use. This part is for the Sony mount, and this part is for the Nikon. So I can put my Nikon lenses over here. Okay, it's fixed, and this part goes into the camera of the Sony. Alright, now I want to show you something. Are you seeing this? This part is much more bigger than this part which goes inside the camera. So the light which is coming from the inside is basically, you see, it's not able to get completely out from here. This part is basically blocking a quite large proportion of the light which is coming from the full frame lenses and it's going into the sensor. So that's another point. That's another proof that these E-mount is basically for the crop sensor, not for the full frame. And I just proved you twice. So whoever thinks that Sony is a better camera company, well, they have to rethink again, because they are just making everybody's fool, and everybody is happy because of the focus system, eye detect, and don't have to worry about those anyway. So the Sony cameras are all about sensors, frankly speaking, nothing more, nothing less. They don't make their own cameras, their own lenses. They have bought Minolta. They outsourced their blueprint of the autofocus system to Sigma, Samyang, and Zeiss. And these three companies, especially Samyang and Zeiss, they never made autofocus camera for Nikon or Canon. For the first time in the history, they made autofocus lenses for Sony. Why? Because they sold their camera autofocus blueprints to them. Sony and Nikon and Canon, they never sold their blueprints. It's a proprietary. Nobody wants to give their secrets, but Sigma, they reverse engineering the autofocus system of Canon and Nikon. That's why they're able to secure it, but they can't. Sony cannot. Well, it appears that you guys think that I am a Sony hater. No, I'm not. I'm still having Sony product in my home. My TV is Sony. They are the best. Although they have been kicked out by Samsung and LG. But there was a time when Sony was dominating, and I still have that Sony TV. Sony Walkman, they're still good in that. But when it comes to camera and imaging system, they sucks big time. They don't have any ecosystem which supports the flash and lenses. they just start making, and I've been hearing from the Nikon users, while Sony is going to catch up after releasing the 400-2.8, and they said that Sony is going to catch up the big dogs, and I was like, oh yeah, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. It will take another 15 years, 10 years, I don't know. These companies like Nikon and Canon, they are here for more than 100 years. 100 years. So, of course, the technology advancement over the last decade has been drastically, and that for sure it's going to overcome the performances done by Nikon and Canon since last 100 years. Of course, they will overcome. But imagine if this technology advancement was there back in 1917. What would Nikon would have done since then by now, over the 100 years? Imagine. Or Canon. It's all about they start making the changes in the camera industry when the technology was there. Simple as that. Anyways, coming back to the camera. ISO performance, that was not as I expected. I compared it neck to neck with D850, not even D700. It's old camera, 10 years old camera, so the firmware is also 10 years old. This is a new camera, it comes with a new firmware, so better ISO performance, of course, is far more better than the other camera. But I compared it neck to neck with D850, and D850 is basically outperformed it, literally outperformed it in many ways. It's an entry-level camera as per my friend who loaned me this camera, so there is no chance it can compare with the 850 or A7R3. But the point is, both are full frame, all three are full frame. This is full frame, A7R3 is full frame, D850 is full frame, and it's full frame is full frame. The only difference you can make between full frame cameras are the SNR firmware. That's it. It's I was expecting much more than that, but I don't know. That size of performance was not as I was expecting. And oh yes, one more thing. As I have many old manual focus legacy lenses, I use that adapter. I used that adapter with on this body and used old manual focus lenses like this one. Yeah, that's 100mm f1.8. The best portrait lens. Period. The best portrait lens. Not even new 100mm, 105, 1.4e. No, nothing. This is the best. Don't believe me? Take the images. Go and see the sample images from. By the way, I'm not marketing Nikon. I'm just presenting the facts. So I put this lens on this A7R, A7 III, and the focus peaking is still an issue with me. I don't know. Maybe it's my fault. I'm not able to stop where it should be. Even though I was using high sensitivity on this A7 III, and still the images are not as sharp as it's supposed to be, which I got from D850. I will show you the images in the blog that I will be writing for it, and you will see it's drastically different, the focus. Same lens, same settings, same shutter speed, same ISO, same aperture, everything is the same, but the focus peaking of D850 is much more better than this Sony. I'm not kidding. I have tested it. Even I have Fujifilm X-T20, and I tried to compare it with the X-T20, and then still D850 focus peaking is much more better than with this and Fuji. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm stopping at the same point where it's supposed to be with all three cameras, and D850 performs better. It locks focus much sharper than the others, because I was going live view mode, focus peaking, so it means that I'm relying on this camera LCD, not even viewfinder, camera LCD. So I was relying on that and I was trying to see how it goes. And oh, one more thing from this. Okay, that sucks, by the way. That's another point which I literally hate about A7 III. I thought it would be there, but it's not, surprisingly. Okay, let me show you. Okay, I am there. You try to see me. Alright, that's me. Alright, let me see. Okay, that's me. Okay, I want to zoom into my eyes to see if I am in focus or not. Okay, I'm trying to go. I can't. See, there is no way I can zoom in digitally and see if my eye is in focus or not. Okay, I can't. That's eye detect. That's fine. That's eye detect will work, but it's not helping me because I was using the manual focus lenses. So autofocus, the eye detect will not work on this, but it should work. Digital zoom should work. Why it's not there? If I take an image, let's say I took the image like this. Okay, I took the image. Let's play it back. This is the playback image. Now I can zoom in. Sorry. Now I can zoom in and zoom out. See? Now you can see me as I'm zooming in and zooming out. Why it's not there in live view mode? Now I'm live view. Why it's not there? Same button. Why it's not? It sucks. It literally sucks. Man, this D850 has this feature. Literally, D850 has this feature. I don't know. I literally, it sucks so much that I have missed many shots, the critical focus points, when I was using the old manual focus lenses on this. Literally. Anyways, so that was my whole conclusion, and I hope in the next iteration, which we will be seeing soon, in next 6 months or so. I'm sorry. But that's what Sony does. They launch the product, they notice the shortcoming, they release another new product within a year or 9 months, featuring, including all those shortcomings. That's how I'm making money. They don't look into the logistics and the operational requirements, or the cameraman system, or the customer requirements, or whatever any typical layman wants to use or wants to do with the camera. They should have included. I don't know. That really sucks. That really sucks, and which I really hate to say that. That's bad. That's really bad. I know you guys are watching people going back of my car. Well, I have to drop this camera now. I have to go inside and give this camera back to my friend because he asked me to return the camera today. So I said, okay, let me come back, and before I give it, I thought, okay, let me make a final video. So that's what I'm making in the car. But I will be sharing with you all the images in the blog. You will see in the blog, a detailed blog. Okay, so that's time to wrap up, guys. Thank you for watching, and please do subscribe to our page VUEGRAPHY, the platform that me and my friend basically made for you. The only purpose is to share knowledge related to photography. We are trying our best to bring everything into at one place for you gentlemen and for you ladies out there, related to beauty, related to photography, videography, tips and tricks, and yeah, I have to speak a little, marketing stuff for my platform. I have to. I'm sorry. I can't help. We all have to. But this is the truth. Like, me and my friend, we are working our butt off to trying to make this platform for you guys, and it takes a lot of effort, lot of time. We are people who do our job 5 times a week, 9 hours a day, and then we have to work on the platform. So yeah, and then we have respective families to give time to. So yeah, we are trying to manage the stuff for you gentlemen and ladies out there, and well, we're trying to do whatever in our capacity. Sometimes we go beyond our capacity, but still to do things for you people so you can get benefit, because that's what we are caring about. I have left all the fights and stuff which I used to do on photography platforms on social media, because right now I just want to focus on one thing. That's it. I have wasted too much time on stuff on other people, which should I have invested in much more beneficial way to help out others rather than debating and all those stuff, because ultimately I realized that you can't change people, especially when it comes to specific countries. I don't want to name, but you will understand. Yeah, it's our habit, it's in our blood, it's in our DNA. We are not going to take orders, we are here to give orders. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be saying that. That's the lens review, camera review, not something else. Anyways, please do tune into VUEGRAPHY and for more stuff, and I'm pretty much sure you will find the place much more informative than other. We are trying our best. We are limited with time and resources, but still we are putting our efforts. I hope you will join in the party and going to get the best out of it. Thank you. Take care and have a good day. Bye.